This video is to cover a few questions in the homework for this weekend that might look a little strange. In your homework, numbers 3, 5, 8, and 9. 3 and 5 are asking you to find what is the slope and what is the y-intercept of the given equation. But if you look closely, the equation is not written in slope-intercept form. For example, let's take a look at this first one over here on the left. It does not exactly match your homework, but I want to give you guys a strategy so that you can take the equation you have here over on the left and make it look like the red equation at the very top. We can do this using our one-step equation skills. If you take a close look, our goal is we need to get y all by itself. And if you notice, there is this x over here on the left side that is in the way. One of the things we need to remember is that there is a plus 1 in front of that x. So that's a positive 1x. We can use our solving equation skills to subtract 1x on each side. We haven't worked much with how to actually move equations that have two variables in it, but we are allowed to add and subtract that entire piece over to the other side. These would cancel out, leaving me with just my y equals, and I'm going to write this in a very specific order. We're not able to do 5 minus 1x. They are not like terms. We cannot combine that 5 and that negative 1. But what we can do is bring all the pieces back down. We have a minus 1x, and then that 5 was positive, so plus 5. Now, I wrote this in a specific order. What I want you to notice is that this is now written in y equals mx plus b form, where m equals negative 1, our slope, and b equals 5, giving us a y-intercept of 0, 5. Let's take another look at it with the equation on the right. We'll call it equation 2, just to make sure we have the skill down. Now again, I want to make sure I get y by itself. In order to make that happen, I'm allowed to move that 3x. We're going to do that by adding or subtracting. Notice that that 3 is a positive 3, so I'm allowed to subtract 3x from each side of my equation in order to move the x to the other side. Those cancel out, so I'm left with y equals negative 3x plus 4. We are once again in y equals mx plus b form, our slope-intercept form, where m equals negative 3 and b equals 4. Therefore, my y-intercept is the coordinate 0, 4. Now, I have a third example, and before I scroll down to it, here's what I want to say. Take a moment, and when I scroll down, pause the video. I want you to try this third one out on your own, and then when you start the video back up, you can check your work against mine to make sure you are understanding what it is you are trying to find. All right, let's scroll down. To our third example, example 3, and go ahead and pause the video and take the time to try this one out to make sure you are moving the right piece using the right strategy. All right, so now that you've had time to do that, let's take a look. Again, I need y by itself. Therefore, I'm going to add and subtract whatever piece is not y out of the way. We have a positive 3 over 4x. Therefore, I can subtract 3, 4 times x on each side, minus 3/4 x. Canceling these out. Therefore, I get y equals negative 3 over 4x plus 2. We are once again in slope-intercept form. We could say that our slope, equals negative 3 over 4. My y-intercept, my b, is 2. So I would start by graphing the point 0, 2. There's a video that's going to accompany this one. You will be directed to watch it first, but this is just to reinforce what we covered on Friday to make sure you understand it before we come back to it on Monday.